Embroidery tools and materials. The quality of an embroidered article does not only depend on the skills of the maker but also on the kind of sewing tools and materials being used. The embroidery tools should be orderly put in a sewing box or into an organizer. Embroidery tools. Embroidery needle. A short piece of steel with a fine point at one end and a little opening or eye at the other. The kind of embroidery work to do and the kind of thread to use are two things to be considered in choosing your needle. Needles should always have a fine tip so that they can easily move in and out of the fabric. Do not use a needle which is bent, without a point or rusty. This will affect the regularity and neatness of work. Protect your needles by storing them in a needle case. To sharpen needles or make pins last longer by rubbing them with an abrasive material such as sandpaper or heavy wool. Needles are of three basic types, namely, crewel sizes, chenille sizes, and tapestry needle. Crewel sizes 1 to 10 are sharp-pointed, medium length with large eyes for easy threading. They are used for most standard embroidery stitching. Chenille sizes 13 to 26 are also sharp-pointed needles, but they are thicker and longer and have larger eyes. They are the types of needles appropriate for embroidery that is worked with heavier yarns. Tapestry needle is from sizes 13 to 26. They are similar in size to chenille but are blunt rather than sharp. This makes them best for thread counting embroidery and for the needle point as well. Embroidery scissor is small, sharp and pointed, good for fine work, used for trimming scallops, clipping threads, and cutting large eyelets. Protect the blade by keeping them in a sheath or cover and get them sharpened occasionally. Needle threader is used for easier threading, especially by those sewers with poor eyesight. Stiletto, it is the tool used in making eyelets. It is usually made of wood, bone or metal. Embroidery frame or hoops. It is used to keep the fabric stretched while embroidery stitches are applied on the design. It is advisable to place tissue paper over the inner hoop or twist or wrap the inner hoop with a thin material to prevent markings on the fabric. Gauge or ruler, used to measure short distances. Tape measure, used for measuring more than 1 foot distance or materials. Thimbles, made from metal or plastic, protect the middle finger and push the needle while doing your embroidery work. This come in sizes 6 small to 12 large. Pin cushion, made of cotton, wool or hair. It is where the pins and needles are pinned. Pounce is fine powder used in transferring design by pricking method. Watercolor brush, used for transferring the design using pricking and pouncing methods. Tracing paper, used for tracing designs. Sewing box, used to keep together the embroidery tools and materials. Embroidery materials. Fabric, sometimes referred to as cloth, are of great variety, and they differ in material, weight, weave, design, color, and finish. 3 types of fabric. Common weave includes most tightly woven fabrics with a relatively smooth surface like linen, wool and cotton. They are best used for articles with decorative stitches. Even weave are intended for hardanger embroidery since the number of threads per square inch is same for both warp and woof. Basket weave is commonly used by beginners and rami linen, wool and cotton. It supplies guidelines for cross-stitch and smocking, having an evenly spaced pattern like gingham cloth and polka dots. Thread is available in various types. They differ in terms of texture, fiber content, number of strands and colors. Threads are usually coded in numbers and color names. They can be bought in skeins, balls or spools. The color of the thread should suit the color and texture of the design and the fabric to be embroidered. Carbon paper. It is specially waxed carbon paper that transfers the tracing wheel's markings to the fabric. A color of tracing paper should be chosen that is close to the color of the fabric. Different brands of tracing paper have different instructions, therefore, the instructions for the particular brand that is purchased should be followed. Chalk pencil allows for the placement of lines on fabric, and many of them have an eraser or brush so that the marks can be removed from the fabric. Please leave a like if this video was helpful to you. Thank you for watching.